Go.
Howdy, how are you doing today, Mr. Lineberger?
Good evening. Nice to see you, Mr. Reeves.
Yes, well, first I'd like to thank you for taking your time to conduct this interview with me to gain knowledge of Cummins' challenges in selecting a production site for its new Hedgehog line. The opportunity to question you about Cummins is an honor. I understand you have very busy schedules, so I will only be taking 5 to 10 minutes of your time.
Well, it's a pleasure coming to visit. I hope I can offer you new and worthwhile insight into what Cummins believes in. I'd also like to thank you for the accommodations you provided me with. They are first class. So what would you like to discuss today?
I heard recently that Cummins is gathering information and considering new sites to place your new high-powered diesel engine Hedgehog line manufacturing facility. Is this true?
It is indeed true. Cummins has been a proponent of staying at the leading edge of engine manufacturing, and with the introduction of our Hedgehog line, we are looking to extend that reputation.
What factors matter the most to you as you weigh the decision of which site to select for the manufacturing facility of this new Hedgehog line?
There's a vast array of factors influencing a pivotal and expansive decision like this. Given the diversity of our prospective sites, we found it imperative that we account for more than just a single factor, and we weigh these factors evenly across our evaluation of each site. Net present value is one of our first go-to indicators of a site's long-term value to us. However, without delving further, we would be exposing ourselves to undue risks. Risks such as that of currency conversion, if Cummins places this new facility in an international site, and the value of that denomination strengthens relative to the US dollar. Then we would experience less than expected returns from our engines produced at that site. When looking at these international locations, there are factors such as local infrastructure that can vastly alter how dependable the incoming material shipments are. Dependable infrastructure is a key indicator of an area with an established government and education system. With a good education system comes good engineers within a close proximity, something vital to maintaining the customizability of the Hedgehog line. The opportunity to expand education in the regions it operates, and with conjunction with the government and private organizations, is essential to Cummins' decision, as they attest to values we have long held at our core belief structure. Last but not least, we aim to consider the impact of this placement of the facility that it will have on our global balance and reach as a company.
I noticed you placed quite a heavy emphasis on education funding and support. How is the dedication to advancement of established education systems important to Cummins?
If you look at Cummins' history in support of private education funds through organizations such as the Lilly Foundation, you'll see that it's more than just a marketing gimmick here at Cummins. It's an organizational value. In my decisions and discussions with Mark Levitt, Vice President and General Manager of Cummins' High Horsepower Division, he emphasized this importance and its potential to influence our choice between the three sites.
So you have finalized the selection site between the three sites of Poon, India, Seymour, Indiana, and Daventry, England. There's been a lot of talk around the water cooler that Poon is currently a strong contender. Why might I be hearing such speculation?
Well, the net present value of Poon, India is relatively high. However, we don't just account for the price tag when we are making these decisions. The Hedgehog line is a technologically advanced line with a wide range customizability for each customer. To maintain Cummins' reputation for high quality, it is essential for Cummins to be able to employ a wide array of skilled engineers.
This need for skilled engineers seems like it could be hard to maintain in certain international locations with weaker governmental ties. Is this why Cummins seeks to coordinate its private education funding with that of local governments?
You bring up a very valid point, and that we have been considering. Although we can provide a significant amount of private funding, without coordination with the local government officials and programs, the full realization of educational goals often fails and falls to the wayside. For a company like us, that customizes highly complex diesel engines for industries that vary all the way from mining to locomotives, a steady pool of skilled engineers and laborers is paramount to our longevity.
So, with such a long-term dimension impacting the decision here, where have you experienced the most cooperation with government officials?
I would definitely say the place where we have experienced the most cooperation with government officials has been Daventry, England. They have been the most resistant to aligning with our efforts. However, Poon and Seymour have been a bit more cooperative in our discussions. Poon was willing to give us valuable tax breaks and incentives that could potentially give us more economic incentives. Seymour was exceptionally willing to work with us through supporting infrastructure changes and was open to discourse over educational support, but hadn't sealed the deal on any packages yet.
So it is safe to say that the Seymour facility is a strong contender for the placement of this new site.
Well, you didn't hear it from me, but it wouldn't be out of line for Cummins to move to a more homegrown facility and focus and get back in touch with our production rates.
Well, that's encouraging to hear, Mr. Linebarger. I'd love to continue this, but we seem to be running short on time. So I just wanted to do a quick recap to make sure I got all these points down correctly, if that's okay with you.
Oh, it most certainly is.
So to conclude, more than the net present value is considered in complex situations such as this. Education is a keystone to the continued success of Cummins. Cooperation and coordination with government officials on matters of infrastructure and education are paramount to Cummins' ability to properly access the long-term viability of its production sites. And finally, the officially unofficial leading site is Seymour, Indiana.
Well, all except that last point sound about dead on. I'm not really quite sure where you figured that last one at.
Well, thank you again for taking the time out of your busy day to conduct this interview with me, Mr. Linebarger. I wish you the best of luck as you continue with your appraisal of the site.
Thank you very much, Mr. Reeves.